Our February 9th, 2026 meeting is called to order. We're going to first move on by having prayer and restatement of the Pledge of Allegiance. Will we stand for both prayer and pledge? Let's pray. Gracious God, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this time of year, for all of us. Lord God, we thank you as well for your healing powers. We're praying as the schools have been affected, and not only the schools, but others with certain bugs that are going around. So we just ask for your protection. Thank you for those who serve in the healthcare field for dealing with the extra volume that they have to deal with because of the flu season and other things that are happening. But we just thank you for your protection now. God, we thank you that you would just guide us and lead us, lead our thoughts, lead our minds. Let us operate as a mayor and council, department heads, and all others with the spirit of unity so that we could accomplish the most for the residents of this great city. We ask you for these blessings in your son Jesus' name. Amen. 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 Now, will you please join us in reciting the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, before we move, and what is a pretty short agenda tonight, and I know folks are excited about that, but just ask you please take a moment to silence your cell phones during the meeting. The City Council encourages public participation. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per speaker. However, this time limit may be reduced if there are numerous speakers on a particular item. To ensure efficient proceedings, all persons addressing the City Council shall state their name and shall speak in a civil and courteous manner. Speakers shall address the agenda topic only to which they are speaking on and shall not be repetitive. Members of the audience, please respect the rights of others and do not create noise or other disturbances so as to disrupt or to disturb persons who are addressing the City Council, council members who are speaking or otherwise impede the orderly conduct of the meeting. And we thank you for adhering to those instructions. Now we're moving to the reading and approval of our minutes from our January 12th meeting. Is that right? Should have been 26. From my, excuse me. Let the record be clear that this should say our January 28th meeting because we had to move it back because of the weather. So reading and approval of our minutes from the January 28, 2026 meeting. All right.
Mayor, make a motion that we dispense with the reading of the minutes of January 28, 2026, and that they be adopted as recorded, if no corrections.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to dispense with the reading of the minutes and to adopt those minutes as they have been recorded. Any comment about this particular motion? All right, seeing none, Mrs. Stacy, roll call vote.
Eli.
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Smith Kirkendall.
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
PT.
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. Motion carries. All right, next we've got a special guest, the Moffitt family. I see Mr. Terrence Moffitt, and don't know if he has to want to say anything. But do we have a picture, Steve, of the next item? Okay, I guess maybe not, Shauna, do we? Okay, I thought there was a picture. Okay, but what we wanted to do, we brought this to the council last year, and I think those signs have been erected already, right, Shauna? All right, so changing of the name from West, was it West 3rd? I think it was West 3rd to Moffitt, what do we call it, street? Moffitt Lane, Moffitt Lane. So to Moffitt Lane. So, Mr. Terrence, I don't know if you want to say anything, stay. If you do have something, yeah, we'll get you to come to the microphone. State your first and last name, and just wanted to acknowledge that. We thought we had a picture of it somewhere, but just wanted to acknowledge that. And certainly you can see it if you drive through. Okay, I think there's an image right there that we've got. Steve, if you can make that a little bigger, that'd be great. All right. Mr. Terrence Moffitt, just state your first and last name and whatever remarks you have on behalf of the family.
Name is Henry Terrence Moffitt. First of all, I'm not a public speaker, so I'm going to keep this brief. But myself and my family, we are truly humbled for this honor. And I want to thank the mayor, the council member, and the city officials. It's bittersweet because, I would truly love for my grandparents to be here to see it. But I'll just finish with saying, we've been in business in this community for over 30 years. And, we really consider it an honor to be able to serve our community and, and still be going strong. So I just want to thank everybody once again. It's truly a humbling honor, and thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Terrence. Look, we'd like to get a picture with you.
Okay.
It's no small notice or recognition, I can say, that this is also Black History Month that we're celebrating, and to have the name of the street. So it looks like it's Moffett Drive.
Yes, sir.
Moffett Drive. So, council, can we get a picture with Mr. Terrence Moffett, who's representing the family? Yeah, you just come right here.
And just would like to say, Terrence, just would like to add, we have the sorority here that your grandmother was a part of. She was a founding member of Rho Beta Omega. So please stay around for that.
Yes, ma'am.
Join
I
us
will.
in that. Thank you.
Not only my grandmother, my mother, and both my sisters.
That's
So,
right. You're right.
They bleed,
They were
wonderful
founding.
folks, yeah.
All right, we don't have anything, the sign is our. All right, yes, sir. We talked about that, we had some discussions after. All right, we will check this out.
They just read it.
All right, I'm just here to be. Just look straight. Okay, gotcha. Go forward, check it out. Well, it's over there. All righty. Such a great impact that the Moffett family has had. Everybody know Miss Moffett, all right? Couple proclamations that we've got on the agenda tonight. The first one is read by our Councilwoman at Large, Smith Kirkendall, who is a member of this well-esteemed, reputable sorority. So we're going to ask her to go ahead and read this first proclamation.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. This is proclamation number 006. Proclamation designating February the 9th, 2026 as AKA Day in the city of Natchitoches. Whereas Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, the oldest Greek letter organization established in 1908 by 16 African-American college-educated women committed to sisterhood, scholarship, service, and social action at Howard University in Washington, D.C. And whereas Alpha Kappa Alpha provides service to the community under program initiatives, empowering families, economic wealth, enhancing the environment, social justice, and uplifting the local community. And whereas Alpha Kappa Alpha currently has more than 360,000 members in over 1,000 undergraduate and graduate chapters in the United States and 12 nations and territories. Whereas on January 15, 1908, founding AKA member Ethel Hedgeman Lau established AKA in an effort to alleviate deplorable social, political, and economic conditions that impeded citizens from becoming productive citizens. Whereas Vice President Kamala Harris will forever be known as the first African American and Asian American woman and the first member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated to have become a candidate to run for the position of President of the United States of America. Her commitment was to always speak and act for the people of ours. And whereas U.S. President Joseph R. Biden Jr. and Vice President Kamala Harris met with the Divine Nine Council of Presidents in the Oval Office in a historic occasion for strategic consultation led by AKA's President Danette Anthony Reed in the fall of 2024, where the President commended the Council for the success of HBCUs. And whereas the designation of a day is fitting to commemorate the early days of Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority advocacy and the continued impact that Alpha Kappa Alpha advocacy can have on our communities, especially Black communities. And whereas the Rho Beta Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated was officially chartered August 29, 1987 in Natchitoches, Louisiana, and established a wide range of service programs in the community addressing education, health, social justice, economic wealth, voter mobilization, youth initiatives such as childhood hunger and youth leadership. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Mayor Ronnie Williams Jr., recognize the contributions of the graduate chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated and further extend appreciation to Fannie Holden, President, for her extraordinary leadership, and to all chapter members for their exemplary dedication to Natchitoches and the surrounding areas, and to public service by designating February 9th annually as Alpha Kappa Alpha Day in the city of Natchitoches, and urges all residents to explore and participate in social advocacy and dynamic service to all to better our communities. Signed by Mayor Ronnie Williams Jr.
Second.
And I move adoption of proclamation number 006. Thank you.
Councilman Petey was ready to second that one.
He's ready.
Seconded before the motion, huh?
Could let me cough. He was ready
Yeah.
to second that.
I do want to note, I think we have a new president of the organization. Is that correct? Ms. Wilson, Lavora. Mrs. Lavora Wilson
sorry.
is the new president
Make that
of
correction.
our local Rho Beta Omega chapter.
We will
of
get
AKA.
that corrected.
Yeah, we'll get it correct. We'll get that corrected and get you all a clean copy of it. But nonetheless, we wanted to acknowledge you all for your Founders Day. 1908, today is 1926, I'm sorry, 2026. 2026. So we're talking, what is that, 118 years. Wow, and just the service to the community, so much we could say. I know firsthand, my wife she loves the organization, and they do a lot of really good things. They just had something on Friday, Pink Goes Red for a Day. They do other community initiatives that they're not trying to get any glory, just want to improve the community. I remember something with the youth you all were doing. Y'all got somebody who want to talk about some stuff? Madam President, you want to say something?
Mayor, do you mind if I redo this, please? Now therefore be resolved that I, Mayor Ronnie Williams Jr., recognize the contributions of the graduate chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Incorporated and further extend appreciation to Lavora Wilson, President, for her extraordinary leadership, and to all chapter members for their exemplary dedication to Natchitoches and the surrounding areas, and to public service by designating February 9th annually as Alpha Kappa Alpha Day in the city of Natchitoches, and urges all residents to explore and participate in society advocacy and dynamic service to all to better our communities. Signed by Mayor Ronnie Williams Jr.
All right.
And again, I move for adoption of Proclamation 006 of 2026.
PT, you-
PT?
Exactly. All right, so we got that. Madam President, is there any remarks you want? I mean, if you don't want to, that's fine, but I know so many things you know that you all do that, and again, the great work you all do in the community. Please state your first and last name and
Good evening.
whatever.
Lavora Wilson, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, Rho Beta Omega Chapter President. Thank you to our sister, Councilman at Large Betty Smith Kirkendall, Mayor Ronnie Williams, and the City Council. We thank you so much for this opportunity and this proclamation in recognizing 118 years of exemplary service to all mankind. As the Mayor started telling you, we are a service organization and social. We have lots of programs aimed at the youth, which is called the Youth Leadership Institute. Ms. Williams was over that program. She's now our vice president. We also have impacting our local communities, where we have a community event in May of each year with financial and health literacy, so it's open to the public. He just mentioned on Friday we had a Pink Goes Red where we recognize Heart Health Month. So it's lots of programs that we do throughout the year. We will come planting trees in April, and every month we recognize different problems in the United States, and we work to address them to help to correct them. So thank you all again for recognizing Rho Beta Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha for 118 years.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Thank you all for being the light in the community. So we could take a picture with the proclamation, but we'll get a cleaned up version
Yes.
for you on that. So I think we have some of our ladies from
Please
Rho
come
Beta
up,
Omega.
ladies.
We'd like to get a picture with y'all, okay? All right. Present y'all this proclamation.
Okay, I got 3 cameras here, so you're gonna be standing there for a while.
Dude, I feel like we need to move over a little bit to the right now. How we doing? To the right?
Whoever she wants, so I'll give you guys.
How we look, Doris?
You're not come over this.
I'm just finding like that.
That's okay.
Oh,
It's okay.
oh,
Pretty good, yeah, you did.
Okay, everybody look over here, please. And whoa, we did something here.
All right. Thanks again, ladies, for your wonderful community service our Natchitoches community. All right, we have another proclamation is read by Councilman PT.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution number 007 of 2026, a resolution proclaiming the month of February 2026 as African American History Month in the city of Natchitoches. Whereas the history of our great country has been written by men and women of every race, religion, and ethnic background, and African American History Month gives us the opportunity to recognize extraordinary contributions African Americans have made to the rich cultural history of our nation. Whereas we also recognize the courage and tenacity of so many hardworking African Americans whose legacies are woven into the fabric of our country. Whereas we as a country must continue to encourage and demand our children to reach the full measure of their potential and ambitions through education. Whereas each February we recognize African American History Month to reflect upon how far we have come as a nation and community and what challenges remain. Whereas each year a national theme is chosen by the Association for the Study of African American Life and History. Whereas the 2026 Black History Month theme is Civil Rights March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom. Whereas this theme honors the significant civil rights movement, and reflects the ongoing struggle for equality and justice. Mayor, I so move to adopt resolution number 007.
Second.
All right, motion made and seconded, just to acknowledge African American History Month in the city of Natchitoches. One of the things we do every year to recognize contributions of African Americans here. So again, I think a good proclamation. Are there any comments or questions about this particular proclamation? I know that there are always a few events that take place. I know there is a church service that's happening at the North Star Church, technically outside of the city, but a lot of the pastors who live in the city are helping to plan that. They've got a preacher coming in from New Orleans to speak. I know that's happening. I think there's a Black History Program parade too, Councilwoman at-Large Smith?
Yes, there
Is that
will be
correct?
on February the 28th,
28th.
starting
Okay.
at 11:30 a.m.
So the last Saturday in this month?
last Saturday. in this
Okay,
month.
good, good. So a couple things happening. There may be some others doing some things as well. All right? Any comment or question about this particular proclamation and motion? All righty.
Just want to add also, if anyone listening would want to be a part of the parade, just please reach out and let us know, let me know.
I think we'll have a piece too, and maybe in the Natchitoches Times or something about the impact of HBCUs and their contributions and things like that. So we'll have that going. Others will put some things in the paper as well, I think. It's going to the paper. All right.
Eli,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Smith Kirkendall,
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
PT.
Yes.
Okay. All right. That motion carries on the proclamation for African American History Month. Councilman Harrington said we didn't do a roll call vote. Okay, on AK. We did the motion in a second, but we didn't do a roll call vote. So we can just take the vote?
Yes.
Hey, roll call vote, because we didn't get a vote on the proclamation to Alpha Kappa Alpha.
Eli,
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Smith Kirkendall,
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
PT.
Yes.
All right, thanks for catching this for us. Okey dokey. Now, we do have one ordinance for final and a resolution, and that's it. So the final is read by Councilwoman at-Large Smith Kirkendall.
Thank you, Mayor. This is ordinance number 006 of 2026, which is an ordinance of the City of Natchitoches, Louisiana, rescinding ordinance number 041 of 2022, of which declared the structure located at 1203 Rosebud Street, Natchitoches, Louisiana, unsafe and unfit for occupancy. Finding that said structure has been rehabilitated and is in compliance with applicable codes, authorizing removal of condemnation status, and providing for an effective date. Whereas on August 22, 2022, the City of Natchitoches City Council adopted ordinance number 041 of 2022, declaring the structure located at 1203 Rosebud Street unsafe and unfit for human occupancy due to violations of applicable building, housing, and safety codes. And whereas said ordinance resulted in the condemnation of the property and its removal from lawful occupancy and commerce, and whereas the owner of record, Superior Properties Management Group, LLC, has since completed rehabilitation of the structure pursuant to permits issued by the City of Natchitoches Building Department, Code Enforcement Division, and whereas the structure has been inspected by the city building officials and has been found to be in substantial compliance with all applicable buildings, fire, health, and zoning regulations, and whereas the City of Natchitoches City Council finds that the conditions which form the basis for condemnation no longer exist, and that rescission of the prior ordinance is in the best interest of the public health, safety, and welfare. And this ordinance was introduced on January 28th and published in the Natchitoches Times on February 5th, 2026. And I move for adoption of the ordinance of 2026, ordinance number 041, 006. Ordinance number 006.
A second.
Okey dokey, look, I think we've got some before and after pictures here. Like we mentioned last week, not last week, a couple weeks ago, when we had our last meeting, this is an example of a property getting condemned, and actually, we needed to condemn it because it wasn't safe. If we know about it and we don't take proper actions, that's just not good for us. How much liability we have, of course, attorneys could speak on that, but it's an example of a property that was condemned. People worked with the owners. They became the new owners, and they worked to address the issues that were in the property. So I think we've got some before and after. How does that go? This is after here, PT? Steve? So I guess that's just what some of the outside pictures. What are we looking at anything particular? I see a pipe coming from the ground. Is there anything particular, Chantrell?
Are we looking at these?
Okay, that one, okay. That
So
one.
this part is actually showing where the sewer line was messed up, and it should have been a video.
Do you have a microphone, Steve, for her? What about that one?
Get the video.
How about you grab that one? Lower yourself.
So this was a video of the sewer line that was constantly overflowing in the backyard. This was just part of one of the videos to kind of show how everything looked in the back before they came in. The meter box was in total disarray. As you can see, the property itself was awful. And that's still another picture. This is still a picture of the backyard. Just more pictures of the back. Let's see. This was that ground wire that was being ran underneath the ground. The people that lived in this area actually buried that line, well, tried to bury the line, and they connected from one property to the property across the street to get electricity.
They were getting electricity, right?
Right, correct. And this is additional pictures for the back. And we're starting to look at some of the pictures on the inside. I wanted to get a closer look to that panel to kind of show you how they were,
It looks busy.
Hooking up. to
yeah,
get the-
they were
Look at a
connecting
whole lot
lines
going on.
and doing whatever you want to think of to try to get power to those facilities inside and out. We had one gentleman that told me he was actually a master electrician from Dallas. And the day we came and cut power, he indicated to us that by the time we left, that facility would have power again, and it did. How he got power to that building, I don't know, because we cut the power at the line. And they had power before the night was over with. Miss Rosemary can tell and say for sure
Yeah,
that's what happened.
they had power. And all 8 units.
And all
Everybody
8
had
units.
power.
This was one of the units, like I said, we kind of took pictures without having to go all the way through the entire building because it was, yeah. This is how most of the units looked. A lot of the apartments didn't have power, but you still had people living inside of them. As you can see, the windows didn't have screens, they were just up. People were going in and out, sleeping the inside, doing whatever you can think of inside each one of the units.
So these were tenants living there, paying rent or whatever?
They were paying
They
rent.
were, they were,
There were people living there actually paying rent. These people were getting, I guess you can say, supplements from federal government, I guess because the property was on some type of housing. And so they were getting payments, they were getting housing assistance. And they were paying the landlord
and living like
and
this.
living like this.
Okay, and I do see Mr. Kevin Just give me one moment, Ms. Chantrell, is there any more? These are before.
These are before.
I think there's some other
There's
pictures
some
too, right?
other pictures that Mr.
See,
Steve
I think they're
can
on the slide though.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. So that shows you some before,
That's deplorable.
some before,
Now, this is
and you
again
see the
panels
cleanup, you see the
outside.
after.
But Mr.
Looks
Steve can
good.
show you the other pictures.
Yeah. Those look like some of the after pictures. That's the end of the afters?
This is some of the before pictures. You ready for the after pictures? You can take it over.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I could go on forever.
No, we don't want to see any more. That looks horrible.
Okay. All right. That's all our pictures?
We want to see the after.
Yeah.
I know it looks better.
Oh, hang
There
on,
we go.
Get it on the other screen here.
Yeah, we definitely see them on these two. Some of the afters right there. Looks like a kitchen and, what is it, like a living area? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Okey
It
dokey.
really looks good. Great job.
No, we got one of the owners here. Is there anything you'd like to say, sir?
Melvin? Miss-
Well, like I said, we
Come
can
on,
see.
we want you to say something.
I mean, we can see clearly. We just get you state your first and last name if there's anything you'd like to say, but we could clearly see the pictures, what it looked like and what it looked like now, so.
Yeah, my name Melvin Braxton. I'm one of the owners of the property, and it was in pretty bad shape. And y'all noticed for the before and after pictures, did a lot of work. Took probably about a year or so to clean it up, but we finally got it. And I think it's a whole lot better. Everybody seemed to like it.
Lots better, lots better.
Great.
It does.
May I kind of speak on it a little bit?
Yes, sir.
We noticed when we had opportunity to kind of walk the property that the structure was was sound. And so it looked pretty bad for as like, all the junk you see in the furniture and everything, but it had a sound structure, and we knew it had a bad roof. So once we kind of got the roof and everything lined out, we seen the potential in it. Once we stopped the rain from washing in.
It looks great.
Yeah.
It looks great.
Okey-dokey. Any comments or questions? Like I said, I think it's pretty straightforward. What this is doing is to rescind that ordinance from almost 4 years ago now,
Demolition, yeah.
in which the city council condemned it, is to rescind that, to now make it official. It's safe, livable, people can live here again. Okay? All righty, no comments or questions? All right, Mr. Stacy, roll call vote.
Eli,
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Smith Kirkendall.
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
P.T.
Abstain.
All right, even with the abstention, that motion carries. All righty. We have one resolution on for tonight, and that is read by Councilman Nielsen. Good work on that property, y'all, really good work.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution number 8 of 2026, a resolution authorizing the mayor of the city of Natchitoches to provide the required 35% local matching funds in the estimated amount of $203,216 for state project number H.016751, known as Sibley Lake Dam Rehabilitation, whereas the Sibley Lake Dam is classified as a high-impact dam under State of Louisiana Dam Safety Program, whereas issues requiring repairs have been identified with the Sibley Lake Dam concrete outfall structure in a short section of the levee embankment, and whereas the Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development Dam Safety Section, on behalf of the City of Natchitoches, submitted an application to the Federal Emergency Management Agency for funding for the needed repairs to Sibley Lake Dam, whereas federal funding in the maximum amount of $377,400 was awarded for the required pre-construction engineering for the needed repairs for Sibley Lake Dam under FEMA grant number EMT-2024-GR-05003. And whereas this grant program requires 35% local matching funds, and whereas the estimated cost of the pre-construction engineering for the needed repairs to Sibley Lake Dam is $580,616, and whereas 35% of the total estimated cost for pre-construction engineering for the needed repairs to Sibley Lake Dam equals an amount of $203,216. Now therefore be it resolved that Mayor Ronnie Williams, Jr. of the City of Natchitoches does hereby agree to provide the required 35% local matching funds in the estimated amount of $203,216 for pre-construction engineering for state project number H.016751, Sibley Lake Dam Rehabilitation. Be it further resolved that the Natchitoches City Council authorizes Mayor Ronnie Williams, Jr. to execute the required cooperative endeavor agreement with the state of Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development for this project. I move that we adopt resolution number 8 of 2026.
Second.
Okay, motion made and seconded. Again, this is about getting your permission to, for us to, if we win the grant, for the local match, 35% match, $203,000, $203,216 is what it is. Now, Nick did send an email. I know Tim could speak to this as well, as this will be under utility department. Got an email from Nick. I'm not going to read it all. It's kind of lengthy. There's kind of a running thing internally, who sends the emails with the most words, Nick or another person. I'm not going to see who the other person is, but I think they know who I'm talking about. But anyway, I'm just messing around. But just, it's a high impact, like Councilman Nielsen said. It's under the state safety program due to potential downstream impacts in the event of a breach, loss of life or property. And then he also communicated recent inspections have revealed issues in the existing concrete outfall structure. Where of the exposed brick, there's some deterioration on it. A short section of the levee embankment that parallels the university has experienced what they call a slide. And he goes on to say 2 years ago, the LADOTD dam safety section identified a source of FEMA revenue funding, or FEMA funding, I should say, for the needed repairs, which Councilman Nielsen read, $377,000 for design money, engineering for the Sibley Lake Dam. So we did have that, but this is to match it. I think if we get the grant, if we get the rest of the money, it matches up 35%, and that would mean 580 would be coming from somewhere else, right? Okay. Tim, is there anything else you want to say?
No, that picture right there is of the slide that's running down University Parkway. It's about 50 to 60 feet long. It's been there about 2 years, but it did stabilize. So it's not an immediate danger, but it could unstabilize and start sliding again. Show them the outfall, Steve. And that's the spillway for Sibley Lake. What you're looking at there is what is called the drawdown gate that has not worked in Lord knows how long, probably 30 years, hasn't worked. The stems are laying over on the bank over there, so we have no ability to move that gate. And then there's some leaks and some deterioration in the concrete also.
bottom line, this project is gonna do what for us?
Hopefully rehabilitate that and get that gate back to working so we do have control of the level of the lake if we ever needed it. But the slide it'll stabilize the embankment of the dam. We fixed probably 2 or 3 over the years. Like I said, that one's stabilized. We weren't too worried about it, but right now we're working on 3 at Tennessee Gas that are running us about $180,000.
So it may not always be the most attractive projects, but still, when you look at running a city, these are things you have to do.
And it helps with the water, correct, Tim? Helps
Flood,
with
is
the
it more of a flood
flood-
mitigation
flood-
thing?
More of a flood level, yeah.
flood level.
Okay, any questions about this, y'all? Again, kind of the things you have to do, that you need to have it in place in case something happens, especially for those folks who live along Sibley Lake. Okay, all right, no questions, comments? All right, Mr. Stacy, roll call vote.
Eli.
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Smith Kirkendall.
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
Petrie.
Yes.
All right, that motion carries. Look, our next meeting is in 2 weeks. That means it's on the 23rd of this month. City offices will be closed next Monday for President's Day, okay? And we always encourage people download, regroup, and also to go to Natchitoches app once so you know what's happening in terms of whether we have ball advisories, which thankfully we don't do a whole lot of those, thankfully. But road closures, storm-related regroup, and then events, which we'll start to kick off some in March and some other things. All right, I think we got a few announcements. Zoom on the riverbank, the Mayor's Health and Fitness Council partnering with the lovely ladies of Zeta Phi Beta. All right, sorority. So that's a free event. And this is going to take place on the 14th, which is this Saturday, Valentine's Day, from 10 to noon. So that is taking place, and they've got the instructor, Mrs. Mo Hamilton. So that's really cool. Again, 10 a.m. to noon, the Mayor's Health and Fitness Council and the Zetas. All right. The Crew of Wagons, that's also taking place this Saturday at 3 p.m. Your pets, you want to register them. Registration is 2 p.m. Lineup is 2:45. And again, as we always say, they have awards for the best dressed pet, the one with the best looking float, and it even says the parade route starting at Bank of Montgomery, coming south down Front Street to Two-Line Street, and then you go down the riverbank there. So pretty simple route taking place there, okay? But always a cute thing to be a part of. Crew of Dionysus Mardi Gras Parade at 6 p.m. They're going back with the old route, which make a right on Jefferson Street and then go down front, go back up Second, and then the parade ends out once they get on through Second. But again, at 6 p.m., and we know where it starts. It starts at the big River South Commons parking lot and goes down South Drive and then hooks up with Kaiser. So always a pretty big deal. Hopefully weather is favorable for us. I know people are watching that. All right, the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame has something going on. Lunchtime lanyard. That's going to be double victory. World War II soldier comes home, a changed man, and this is going to be on the 20th. So next week from 12:15 to 1 p.m. Something you can get an hour or less to get some information. So really good to have a resource like the Sports Hall of Fame in our community, that type of museum. So use that if you can, if you have that availability, your calendar is open. Just go and take in that presentation. All right, this has been postponed. The parade is now going to be the 31st of January. No, that was the 31st. The
21st.
21st, which is not this Saturday, but next Saturday. Right. All right, is when it's going to take place. And I guess they still have Benny Logan. He's Coshada native, played for LSU. He wore the number 18, which is a special number at LSU. So now, of course, there's only one number that you could do that. So the fact he was able to do that is great. In the likes of, who, Eddie? Some other people? Who else did that? 18. Ah, gosh, I forgot. There's some other people, though. Good players. All right. But Benny Logan is going to be the Grand Marshal. All right, there's a spring career fair at the University Student Union Ballroom on the 24th, Tuesday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So really something geared towards students. They're saying all majors are welcome, but I'm maybe open outside of the student, but I think it's really geared towards students. All right. Any other announcements? Okay, yeah, Go Natchitoches Awards. You've been seeing some posts, I think, from the chamber about this, so they've kind of, some people are being honored. I saw Steve Horton, I saw Claire, I saw the 4 under 40, so there'll be some others. We've had departments that have been recognized before, but this is going to take place on Wednesday, February 25th, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. $60 to get in for member tickets. If you're not a member, $75 to participate. All right. That's our announcement. When you say the parade is again?
February the 28th. I think I sent the flyer to Steve. He didn't get it on the thing today, but I did send you the flyer. Did you not get it?
No, he probably did. So February 28th,
February the 28th.
beginning at 11:30. What does it start?
It will start on the 3rd Street parking lot of the courthouse, well,
Okay.
police jury parking lot. February 28th, lineup is at 11:30, and the parade will roll at 1.
Parade at 1, okay. All righty. All right, nothing else, council? All right, at this time, y'all will hear a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
All right, all in favors?
We're gonna get a second.
Oh, I'm sorry, second. So we got a motion to adjourn, we got a second, all in favor? All right, meeting is adjourned. Y'all have a great night, folks.